Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is your full moon reading for March 12th. So, of course, energy permeates, right? And especially so during the full moon, that energy is super strong. So it may extend, right, a few days before or a few days after, all right? Nonetheless, the full moon is a time where the moon's energies are at their peak, okay? Peak energy flow, very strong fire energy that's being channeled through. So it's a great time. It's a great time to assess, to kind of bring an awareness about how are we channeling that fire energy, right? During the full moon, am I channeling my fire energy in a positive way, right? How am I expressing that more dynamic, creative side to myself? Is it coming out, right, in a way that I align with, that I feel is helping me create and manifest, right? The moon cycle being very much a cycle of manifestation in and of itself. So this full moon is in the sign of Virgo, service-oriented sign, earth sign. So there's a focus, right, on the give and the take in a situation. Absolutely. In terms of either service or relationships, partnerships, whatever it may be. So now the full moon, right, brings about a sort of clarity each time that it manifests in a month. So the clarity that it brings, the ultimate clarity that it brings, relates to its corresponding new moon 6 months prior. So think back 6 months, right, to what you may have been ruminating on, right? Really thinking about, focused on bringing into manifestation and fruition, right? And whatever that sort of nucleus of intention was for you at that time, you'll see that at this full moon today and the few days surrounding it, we're bringing sort of a final culmination to that macro manifestation cycle, if that makes sense, all right? Now, aside from that, right, in a more micro sense, the full moon brings about a certain level of illumination, of clarity, as it regards the manifestation cycle of the month itself. So we had a new moon earlier this month, I believe actually at the tail end of February. And so whatever this period for you now is at the full moon will be bringing a clarity as it regards a situation that that was sort of initiated around the time of the new moon of late February, early March. Okay, so very exciting. I know that a lot of signs have been going through a period of absolute uprooting, transformation. The readings of the last few months, and particularly March, have been a whirlwind, to say the least, all right? Nonetheless, let's see how these energies are peaking here for you all, and I will start. Hi there, Gemini. I feel like you are hyperactive. I'm not surprised though, because I mean, Gemini just as Gemini is somewhat hyperactive. But all right, it's like I feel that especially so during this time, you guys are just brimming, chatty, super chatty, high energy. Okay, Gemini. I feel like you're like talking to a lot of people. There's a lot of news that's being passed around. That's the feeling I'm getting for you. And I want to pull one more card for you guys. Okay. Feeling it's this one. Yes. Okay. News. The Four of Cups in reverse as your theme. Gemini, either you or another person is coming forward with their truth, right? And the full moon is absolutely a time of revelation, of illumination, of truth, clarity of what is otherwise kind of obscure, right? Hazed, that we were unable to sort of disseminate with stark clarity, especially as it regards the emotional aspect of a situation. Okay, we're now coming forward with greater clarity. We're speaking our truth. How do we feel about the situation? How does the other person feel about the situation? How do we collectively contribute to the situation, right, of bringing about emotional satisfaction? This may absolutely regard as well, right, the stability, the feeling of stability of emotions. But even, right, a process that regarded your emotions, but that ultimately caused you to feel unstable about them in some shape or form, from which you try to regain your sense of stability. Inborn stability by way of your own efforts, right? Not being sort of at the mercy of a situation, right, that did not somehow pan out for you. I'm feeling again in regards to your emotional sort of side of whatever it is that you're involved in, okay? There is a desire, okay. You pulled the Chariot upright, overlaying the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, overlaying the Father of Pentacles upright, overlaying the Daughter of Cups in reverse. Very, very interesting. Taurus got similar cards. So if you know Taurus, if you have a Taurus ascendant, rising, or moon sign, then you may want to check that video out, as it seems there's absolutely some overlap here, okay? Nonetheless, Gemini, I'm feeling that you're kind of like ready to set out along a path of greater independence, right? Where you're like confident, you're radiant, you're speaking your truth, you're acting on that truth, right? You're consulting your intuition as to how you are to move forward within the situation, perhaps as it may regard, right, the revelation, the confession of that truth. And you're no longer, right, remaining in a sort of a state of isolation, right? You're ready to sort of embark on the world in a new way and present yourself to the world in a new way, right? And to reinvent the way even that you perceive or pursue your stability. Okay, the Chariot, much like the Two of Pentacles here, speaks to a sense of inborn stability, right, that is had by way of the alignment and the alliance that the Chariot has with his soul, his intuition, and his physical being, his more tangible marker of stability and groundedness. It's the harmony between these two halves, right, of himself that comes together and creates a sense of stability, right? It's not because the Chariot has 10 pentacles hanging from his chain, like he can't ride off into the sunset like that, right? So it's the setting down. It's a setting down of this heavy sort of impedance of what we've been dedicated to that was not fulfilling to us, and that did not speak to us emotionally or spiritually. And similarly, right, we see this transfusion of energy also in the cards that precede it, or precede these two, of the Chariot and the Eight of Pentacles. The Father of Pentacles upright, the Daughter, yes, the Daughter of Cups in reverse. So again, we see, right, the oscillation between earth and water. Stability, sustenance, creativity, fluidity. Okay. 1 second, Gemini, let me tune in. I'm sensing that it's almost like this. If you have been in a position, right, and this could absolutely be connected to career. If you've been in a situation or a career or a project, been involved in something where you felt like you needed to play a role that required of you, right, to be sort of like pinned in, sort of serious, right? Not able to truly engage your creative faculties as much as you would like, right? You're now looking forward to the possibility of embarking down a path that speaks much more to your sense of creativity, your creative faculties, rather, right? Like the Chariot that we're seeing here. There's balance. We're in the middle of these two cards. We have two heavy, heavy earth cards. On the outskirts, we have this more dynamic, spontaneous, free-flowing, compassionate, emotional, sentimental propensity for self-expression, right? So where we're locked in, we now are seeking to break out, right? And we're absolutely seeing that here as well, the Four of Cups. So unleashing our emotional sort of core, right? The core of our emotional being. Coming out with that truth and expressing ourselves, right? Like, look, I'm not all earth. I'm not all, right? I can't just be like, right, in a factory line of work where I'm only focused on one thing day in and day out. And there's no dynamism to this card. Gemini is a mutable sign. It's air energy, right? There needs to be some shakeup here and there. Again, depending, right, on the other planets in your chart. But generally, there's a need for dynamic action and collaboration as it regards the Gemini archetype, and absolutely career, right? So I'm sensing that you're stepping more into a creative sort of even expansion of your mind, right? Opening yourself up, like, hey, you know what? I have emotions, right? And they're not being satisfied, perhaps, or they haven't been with the way that my career has been going, or whatever it is that I've been contributing to, that I believe will bring me a sense of stability in the long term. Okay, so now realizing there's much more to it and that you want to harmonize these two halves of your being. Then moving up top to the Mother of Wands, the reversed Seven of Cups, and the Hermit, we have this Fan of Cards in the top left corner. So, immense well of creative potential waiting to be unleashed. Waiting. And it's like you are breaking out of the box. You're like, where maybe previously I was in a position of stagnancy, right? Of how do I emotionally want to proceed with this? How do I emotionally feel about this? What are my emotions, right? You're now like, I know my emotions. I know how I feel, right? And I'm going to communicate how I feel, right? It's not just about now knowing how I feel. It's about communicating it, right? So you're getting really clear on something. And I'm feeling that it was by way of this introspective sort of time that you took, right, to focus on yourself, right? To focus on yourself. And to ruminate on, what do I want to bring into fruition, into creation? What is important to me, right? As a creator, as a highly creative individual. And so at the base, we have the Son of Pentacles, the Daughter of Swords upright. Son of Pentacles upright, the Daughter of Swords in reverse. Okay, two people cards. Let me tune in here. I'm feeling that these are the two halves of yourself. Okay, Gemini, I'm feeling that this is your propensity, right, to be steadfast and focused and responsible, right? Long-term oriented in terms of how you move forward in attaining your dreams. It's almost like the energy of the Chariot, right? Being super focused on what it is that we want to achieve, right? And taking that process into our own hands. So that's one side of it. Excuse me, right? The other side of it is this Daughter of Swords, which her sword that she's perched upon is almost like staking right into the Son of Pentacles. And it's almost like it's like a yin-yang, sort of like a yin-yang. So let me tune in here 1 second, Gemini. You have two daughters in reverse, Gemini. Daughter of Cups, Daughter of Swords. So, you may be ruminating, still ruminating, right? On how do I want to bring about whatever it is that I'm creating or embarking on, right? What is the strategy behind it, right? Aligning your desires, your impulses, right? Your dreams with your creative rational mind. Sort of, right? Getting all of the sort of components, right, that comprise you, all your elements in check with one another as you move forward along this new journey, right? Gemini being an air sign, right? Air is very prominent in your psyche and your energetic composition. So it's almost like you're focused, right? You have the stamina to move forward along this new path. You're very driven, right? You have your sights set on it. And you're being driven by way of your intuition, absolutely, right? But there's an element of strategy that you are not entirely yet clear on, right? And so it may require of you, it's like sort of, I'm feeling it's like the technicality of it, right? It's like the technicality of the creativity. It's sort of like, I am clear on the fact that I want to paint a beautiful mural on the corner of so-and-so and so-and-so, and I know what I want to paint, and I know how I want to paint it. It's just a matter of sparsing out the details, right? It's like the little things, right? Am I going to sign my name on it? Where am I going to sign my name on it? What's the paintbrush I'm going to use? Right? It's like taking that time to really sparse out the finer details of it, right? And again, right, this can speak to also, right, the sort of two halves of yourself, right? Your propensity to intellectualize something or to simply charge forward by way of the harmonization of your spiritual intuition, right? That being your guiding force and navigation, and your persistence, your earth element, right? That we're seeing here with the Chariot. So I'm getting that you're coming into greater balance, right? Whatever this energy may be, I'm feeling it's going to be different for several of you. But the Daughter of Swords in reverse is kind of like at the mercy of the Son of Pentacles and thereby the Chariot, right? Both cards incorporating the element of the Moon and the Pentacle. So it's sort of like the Daughter of Swords. It's whatever this new stage is for you, whatever this project is for you, or this new approach that you're taking on, again, as it regards your career or finances, most likely, you're realizing I need to act from a place that is real to me. I need to create and to make progress and move forward from the guidance of my intuition, right? Intuitively heeding, right, the messages from my higher self, so to speak, from my soul self, counseling me on how to proceed in the way that's going to make me feel truly stable and secure. Not simply by way of rationalizing my way through it, right? Which can absolutely be a propensity for Gemini, especially if you have a lot of Gemini in your chart or a lot of air in your chart, okay? And I will say this energy I'm feeling is at the mercy, right, of this sort of newfound even maturity. It's like you're coming into your own, you're stepping into your elemental composition in a way that's more balanced, right? You're waking up to not just your intellectual mind, right? You're saying there are more elements that go into this, right? It's my earth and it's my creativity, my fire, and my intuition. Okay, so we're seeing elemental balance here across the board, which is beautiful to see. Beautiful, just beautiful to see, especially during the full moon, seeing that everything kind of comes together. There's this greater awareness even of, right, who am I and what can I create and how can I create it and how do I step along that path in the way that's real and true to me and most conducive, right, to charging forward and achieving my dreams. All right, so thank you so much, Gemini, for tuning in. I hope this reading was helpful for you. Please feel free to check out your ascendant, rising, or moon sign, as oftentimes these will provide you with further insights into your situation. I know that I resonate a lot with my moon, even more than my sun, oftentimes. So it doesn't hurt to check it out. And if you don't know your signs, you can click the link below in the description box and that will compute your signs for you. All right. Otherwise, bask in the beauty of this full moon. And I will see you guys soon. All right. Bye.